Okay, so I'm back again. I selected 3 films that I'm going to talk about that all more or less share the same historical theme. I'll show you the films. It's Schindler's List, Capo, and The Pianist. All 3 films have the same central theme of the Holocaust, whether it be about the horrors of the Holocaust, the triumphs of the Holocaust. So let me get into it. So I rewatched Schindler's List a few days ago. I haven't seen this film for quite a long time, maybe about 5 years. I'm watching it again, which keeps happening with a lot of Steven Spielberg films. It's not as good as the first time I watched it. The first time I watched Saving Private Ryan, I was pretty much amazed by everything I saw on screen. Then the second time I watched it, I didn't really find that much with it. Maybe because every film that has come out after Saving Private Ryan is kind of similar in style to that, so maybe we've just got such a bloated version of Saving Private Ryan over and over again, so maybe that's why I didn't think of it as good a second time. Schindler's List, I thought it was brilliant the second time. However, I enjoyed it the first time I watched it. Now when you say Holocaust and enjoy, it's really hard. It's not that I enjoy the main theme, it's the film is very well made. So this is probably one of Steven Spielberg's best films. But however, on the second viewing, it wasn't as great as the first time I saw it, though it is brilliantly filmed. It runs at just over 3 hours, and there's a lot of typical Steven Spielberg S-type thing, children and sentimentality and all that type of thing. But it's not the best Holocaust. Well, you can't really. It's really difficult to say that this is the best Holocaust film, but this is the best. This is one of the best films that deals with the Holocaust in like a historical setting. So that's Schindler's List. Stars Liam Neeson and Ralph Fiennes. I actually thought that Ralph Fiennes' performance as like one of the SS officers was actually better than Liam Neeson's portrayal of Oscar Schindler. But Schindler's List, it's definitely worth a watch. The Blu-ray is really good. I mean, obviously the film's black and white. Certain things do have colour. And it's the point in the film where Oscar Schindler sees a girl in the concentration camp. Everything is black and white, but she wears a red coat. Now, I think that red coat represents the innocence of a child. Similar to like Little Red Riding Hood in that extent. So I feel that that moment was such a well done moment in the film. So I think he goes from being, he's just trying to profit from the Jews in the concentration camp. But at that point in time, I think something changes in him, and he becomes, more about the freedom and keeping the other prisoners, as good as he can. So that's Schindler's List. Another film. This is released by Janus Films. Janus Films release quite a lot of classic world cinema films and a lot of other classic British and Japanese, American films as well. This is an import from America. It's called Capo. Capo is a direct Italian translation for head. So basically, they would pick someone from the concentration camp who was a Jew and put them in charge of all the other people. They were called Capo, so that basically means head in Italian. And they had to do what they were told. And then when they went back in the night to, in the same quarters as the other prisoners, they would obviously get the shit knocked out of them. And it must have just been a horrible situation to have been in, where you actually have to do everything your oppressor tells you, and then you have to use that oppression and use it on your own people. So it's such a... it's another one, filmed in black and white. I think it's done for effect. There's a scene in this where a cat gets killed, and hopefully it's not a real cat. I think it was not a real cat, but that scene was just horrifying, and it just adds to more elements of this. And I always find there's something really creepy and chilling about when you watch these films that deal with the Holocaust. Obviously, because it was such a momentous moment in history that this happened. But Capo, it's good film, but it can be uneasy watching at some times. So that's Capo. It was directed by Giulio Pontecorvo, and he directed, I think, Battle of Algiers, which is a film about the Algerians rising up against the French. But that's a story for another day. So that's Capo. The last film I'm going to talk about. This is probably the best well done film to deal with the Holocaust in a historical significance. It's brutal, it's grim, though it's beautiful at the same time. Not beautiful in the theme, but beautiful in the way it's filmed and the way Adrian Brody just gets into the role of this film. I don't think you're going to see Adrian Brody in a better film. It's The Pianist. Now, this was directed by Roman Polanski, who himself was in the concentration camps in World War II as a very, very young boy. And obviously, there's a lot must reflect on that time that he spent in the concentration camp in this film, The Pianist. This is really brutal. People just get shot without, you know, anyone caring. There's a lot. He's hiding out as well in Poland, and obviously the name is The Pianist. He's a famous pianist. He manages to escape, go into the concentration camps, but it's just heartbreakingly beautiful the way the film is done. It really is one of the best films, not just about the Holocaust, but about World War II, and maybe one of the best films of all time. This would definitely be in, I don't know, maybe not a top 20, but it would enter into the top 50. I loved the way this was filmed. It doesn't shy away from anything at all. So the three films that I've shown you, they're all kind of dealing with the subject of the Holocaust, but they're respectful to it, but at the same time they show the horrors and the brutality of it. So that's The Pianist, Capo, and Schindler's List. These are some of the best films, historical films about World War II that you're going to see. I hope you go off now and you're able to like catch one of these films, or if you've already seen them, go back and watch them again, because they're really some good films there. So I hope you enjoyed my video there. You can like the video, unlike the video. I'll leave a link at the bottom as well down there for if you're able to like see these films that I just showed you. And thanks for watching. Bye.